Okay, so before we get started, I wanted to tell you about my dream last night
Oh, nice. I want to hear it.
because
We
I
are now on
dreamed.
YouTube.
Oh, perfect. So I dreamed that we were doing this little interview, except you were asking me all these questions, and it was a room full of sixth grade girls. Like it was all middle school girls, and they were just like, "Why is she even talking to us?" And like we were only supposed to get people from Eureka talking to us, and then I was like helping them with their reading lesson, and it was kind of stressful. I kind of had a stress dream about you
Oh,
interviewing
dear.
me. It was like a middle school stress dream, but I think I'm ready.
Good. I think that sixth grade
We're
girls
gonna
need
find
to hear
out.
from you, Delo. I think sixth grade girls need to hear from you.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Hey,
I
could
like
you
the
turn up your volume a little bit? I'm having a bit
me.
of a hard time hearing you.
How about that?
A little bit better.
Here. How about that?
Great.
Okay, I'll speak up. So, Delo, I've been working with you for a little while now on the strategic arts plan for the city of
Mhm.
Arcata, and it's been great working with you. And I was like, I know so little about Delo, so I'm going to ask you some questions for my edification and for everybody to know what an awesome person you are right
Okay.
next door here in the city of Arcata. So,
Totally.
what exactly is a senior planner, Delo?
Hmm. Well, I feel like so many people don't really know what planning is, which is a shame because there's so many different facets to it, and it's really interesting. So planning can be a lot of different things, but at its core, it's all about rules and implementing rules. But also, when you get to a senior level position, it's about making rules and interpreting rules and going back to the community and being like, do these rules make sense? Should we make new ones? What best serves your needs? So, what I do isn't purely just implementing law. We're in this really exciting period right now where we're updating a huge number of our policies in all kinds of subject areas, and we're writing a brand new arts plan. So, a planner, yeah, basically facilitates community conversations. Um, and the role of the city in general, I see it as kind of to support, facilitate, protect the community. And every element of that requires the community as a partner. Like we are nothing without everyone else. So, the job of a planner and a city person in general is just to facilitate and be integrated into their community.
True, because the city really would be nothing without the people in the city. It wouldn't even be
Yeah,
a
we
city.
would just push papers around
Might not
meaninglessly.
even be there. It might just be an empty plane. Um,
Right.
so when did you graduate from school and what did you graduate in? Because I'm assuming you have a university degree to arrive at a
Mhm.
senior planner position. So what is the schooling that went into?
Yeah, so I do have a degree, an undergraduate degree. A lot of planners do actually also have a master's in urban planning, but I don't. I started out at HSU, so I'm from Humboldt. I lived in Arcata for my first 3 years of life because my parents were HSU grads. And then they stayed and they moved to Eureka. So I grew up in Eureka and I went to HSU for my first year and then I transferred out to the University of Washington in Seattle. And I actually chose planning based on advice from an HSU advisor because I had been going to do architecture and then I was like, well, I'm going to do engineering. And I started the environmental resources engineering program at HSU and realized it did not play to my strengths at all and I was miserable. So I went all the way through Calc 2 for no reason, but it's in the past. So what I ended up actually graduating with was a major in community environment and planning, which is an interdisciplinary planning undergraduate degree in the College of Built Environments at UW. And I also got a minor in anthropology sort of by accident because I loved all the social theory so much that and it was housed under the anthropology department that I just ended up with that as a minor. So yeah, that's sort of my background. And CEP was really interesting because it was a very small cohort in a very large school. The population of UW is roughly 40,000 students, so larger than Eureka's metro area, basically. And so, I was this kind of small town person in this really big university environment, and I finally sort of found my place with this program, and it was very much self directed. We wrote a lot of our own curriculum, we chose our own focus, and we had to decide all of our structural decisions by consensus And let me tell you, that's really hard. So it was definitely a really well-rounded education. I was very grateful to have it.
Cool. And you came to the city of Arcata from the city of Eureka, correct?
Indirectly, yeah. So I started working at the city of Eureka after graduation. I graduated in 2014. And I worked at the city of Eureka for a few years, and then I moved to Plan West Partners here in Arcata and did private sector work for a little bit. But then this senior planner job opened up, and I just couldn't pass on that opportunity to work at the city of Arcata and sort of advance my career. And they were so desperate that they hired me, and now here I
Now, you're awesome. You're amazing. So, one of my questions is, who inspires you?
Who inspires me?
It could.
Alex Stillman inspires me.
Mhm.
I don't know, I'm sure everyone knows Alex Stillman. Alex Stillman is like 80 years old, and she told me something one time that really stuck with me, which was I basically just push forward with what I want until somebody actually tells me no. Which is sort of like, double-edged sword, but it's kind of cool that there is a woman out there who's like, I'm not going to just assume that somebody's going to tell me no. I'm going to wait till somebody actually has the cojones to tell me no, you
Right.
know? So I appreciate that about Alex. She's got moxie.
She does.
Um, and obviously, like my mother, because she's fabulous and very irreverent. Sometimes, like, I feel like her mom because she's always off doing something crazy. Um, And yeah, just like my mom's lady pack of just like fun middle aged women who garden and cook and just like are very articulate and fun and appreciate their home.
I think I'd like.
And that's who's coming to mind
I
at the
think I'd
moment.
like your mom's ladies pack.
Oh my gosh, you would totally love them. You would love my mother. Yeah.
So, like when you were a kid, what would you say was your outstanding trait? Like people on your report card, teachers would say, Delo,
I
blah,
was
blah.
a really, really, really voracious reader. I read so much. Um, And so we would have to take these tests, like these reading tests, where you had to like pass these quizzes and earn a certain number of points every quarter or semester or whatever. And I always just like aced it every time. And so I get all these extra special reader awards. And I also was a very artistic child. So I got a lot of artistic cred, believe it or not.
No, I believe it because aren't you still doing some artistic things?
I still do some artistic things. Yeah, I would say I don't really necessarily consider myself like a formal artist, but I'm very into sort of conceptual art, meaning like how art intersects with people and space. And sometimes it's fun to sort of reflect people back on themselves. I did this uh, art installation that I'm really proud of for the first Eureka Street Art Fest, where we called it public review. It was something that Jenna Katsos, the main organizer, or one of the main organizers, and I worked on together, where we printed out all the good, bad, and ugly comments from the Thunderdome on the logo about the murals, and like how they were like they're demonic and they're terrible and they're not redwoods, and then all these people who were saying this is amazing, this is great for our community, we love it, do more of it, and we pasted all of them on the back of what is now North of Fourth bar. Chuck Carlson, the owner, is a delightful human and let us do that. And it's just it was fun. People enjoyed it, because sometimes I think people forget that whatever you put online can come back to you, and it matters. So words are
Mhm.
important.
Words are important. Yes, we've had that discussion before. So that's great too. So the other question that I had is, what would you say to young girls and young women coming up through high school right now, knowing this whole what's going on with the pandemic and changing the world and things like that? What would be a sort of a advice for them?
Gosh, that's such a hard question because this is such an unprecedented time. I
Mhm.
guess I would say don't have any social media accounts, first of all. Don't even have a cell phone.
Wow. Okay.
Like don't feed into that sort of alternate reality because it messes with you. And as a young person, especially, like if I had a daughter, I would be like, you don't get Instagram until you're 18. Sorry, that's just the way it is. Um, what else? I guess I would tell girls to not be afraid of knowing their own mind. I have this thing up here up by my desk. I'll show you from the Tate. Is this backwards?
Nice. No, it's
What do
great.
you think?
What do you think?
So, like while you're trying to do your life, think about like, what do you think? What's your opinion?
Nice.
Um,
That is a great thing. What do you think?
yeah. And actually, I have a couple others. I'll just read what I tell myself to other young women
Great.
because
That's
it's here.
what we want. We want what you
Um,
for yourself.
so, Maeve, cycles and rhythms. Honor the cycles of your body, energy levels, and emotions. Like, not every day is going to be your day. A lot of days aren't going to be your day, and that's okay. And then um, Kuan Yin, compassion. These are my goddess cards. Release judgments about yourselves and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. That's probably the most important one. Just to release judgments about yourself and others and just focus on the fact that they're human and they're doing their best and you're a human doing your best. And that's not just lady advice, but it's just like human advice, you
Right.
know.
That's excellent advice, Delo. I admire you immensely. I admire
I
your
admire
brain
you.
and the way that you think. And
Thank you.
I'm glad that you are within the city of Arcata. Not that the city of Arcata is evil, because there's so many amazing people there.
Evil overlords.
That's
Well, one
right.
thing I did want to say about the city of Arcata, which is really special, is that one of the questions you had mentioned to me before we did this was, are there a lot of women in planning? And yes, there actually are a lot of women in planning, and there are a lot of women engaged in community engagement and involvement, more than men. But there aren't always a lot of women in leadership, like department heads and city managers. And at our city manager is a woman, and our deputy city manager is a woman, and that's really cool. So I think that definitely has influenced our culture and the way we treat each other, and it's great. So I appreciate the lady spirit of City of Arcata.
Great. Well, thanks so much for joining us,
Yeah,
Delo. Nice to chat with you. And Delo will be joining us tomorrow. Delo and Gillen and Fawnshire and I will talk tomorrow about the local arts agency and what we've been cooking up between the local arts agency and the city, and get input on that and feedback on the direction that we're going, like Delo says, so we can put forth our thoughts and get some feedback on that. So tune in tomorrow at 1 o'clock for the local arts agency. I'll have the umbrella out with all the little dancing people.
oh,
Thank you so
exciting.
much. I know, and maybe the book too, and stuff, and try and find a place for them to be while we're in COVID. So thank you so much, Delo. We're going to come up with the double Mollies coming up. We got Molly Steele of the Chamber, and then we have Molly coming up after that. So looking forward to the double Mollies. Thanks to Delo for chatting with us. And check out the rest of the festival if you have a chance, Delo. It's
Yeah,
all
I
gonna,
definitely will.
yeah, it's all recorded on YouTube too. So
Perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna jump off and get back to my mini emails, but
great.
have
Back to
fun,
work.
Molly, and I'll talk to you guys later.
The double Molly. I'm just
Yep.
gonna run away and change my glasses. Here I go, changing my glasses. Molly, Molly. No, I'm not gonna change my glasses. I'm back. I'm not gonna change my glasses because I can't find them. They're not readily available to me. So let's bring on Molly Steele from the Arcata Chamber and have a little chat with her about being a woman in business. Molly, let's see, can we get you big on the screen? Um, Pin, maybe I do that? I'll pin you on the screen and I'll be little. Yay! Um, Molly, so
Hi.
good to see you. It looks sunny where you are.
Ah, it's bright behind me.
Great, nice. I'm going to ask you some of the same questions that I asked. Oh, geez, that's my phone. Sorry.
Something exciting is going to happen.
I know, that's my friend Tammy Ray Scott calling me. So let me just see if I can get you back. I don't know where you went. Oh, there you are.
Here I am.
Sorry, I'm just going to rip over here and put my phone on, do not answer business. So, Molly, here we are. Have you got your kids at home with you? Or are you doing homeschooling right now?
Yes, and of course it's don't bother me while I'm on the Zoom, but
It's the time. If ever there was a time then to not worry about those things, it is now. A certain level of double-edged sword of a certain level of compassion and understanding for women who work and have children. I think there's more of an understanding of that. And also more women are leaving the workforce because of not being able to have their children at school. So, and
yeah.
pandemic. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you as a mother and as a woman. So Molly, I have some questions for you about what drove you to, you're now what's your official title with the Chamber of Commerce?
Hi. Yes, now I am officially the executive director since the summer, I guess. I officially took the title. I was in interim for a little while. So, yeah, it's exciting.
It is exciting. And you've done a marvelous job just keeping everything going and really supporting local business through the pandemic. So I applaud you for that. Even doing the award ceremony on Thursday and keeping it going, that was awesome.
Yeah, congratulations to Jackie, Business Leader of the Year.
I was just so excited that the arts made it into the business community. To me, that was just so excited. So thank you for that. But just looking at how the chamber has been supporting local businesses in Arcata with, the Thursday mixers that have still been going on, and even in COVID, even over Zoom, and there are regulars who attend all the time.
Yeah.
And businesses who really step up to do creative things in those mixers. So, how did you arrive at the Chamber of Commerce, and how did you arrive in Arcata?
Yeah, totally two different things, but I arrived in Arcata for HSU. And I'm from the East Coast originally, grew up in the DC area, and I had a good friend who ended up at HSU, and I came out and visited her. This was right after high school. I took some time off, didn't go right to college, and came out here from the East Coast, and then I fell in love with the area, came back the next year. So that's the history of sticking here.
Graduate with at HSU, and did you complete the graduate get a
I did. I graduated with a degree in biology and a minor in botany. So totally not
that's cool.
Not anything having to do with the business world. I don't have any experience with like a business degree or anything like that. So what am I doing with running the Chamber of Commerce?
Doing a good job. That's what you're doing. Flexibility and resilience. That's
exactly. Right. No, I love studying plants and biology, just like, math and science kind of minded. So yeah, I do like the bookkeeping at the chamber, which is one of the things actually I like really enjoy, is kind of like doing those like mathy things.
Don't get that get out. There's people need bookkeepers all over.
Right.
So what year did you graduate from HSU?
I graduated in, I want to say it was 06.
Mm-hmm.
So feels like a long time ago now. And
it's not too long of a time, but it's pretty good long time.
Yeah, I've been in Humboldt since 2000, and gonna be just like dating myself here, I guess, but
it's good. We all grow older, and we, that's a good thing.
Yeah, so I've been here, off and on. I took time off through college, took my time doing college, which worked out well for me. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know really how I ended up at the chamber. I kind of just like saw a job opening. It was, I'm kind of jumping around here, but after college, did some jobs in botany, traveled around, and had kids. So
yes. How many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids.
Yes. What are their names?
My son is Taiki, He he's almost 10. And my daughter, Enna, she's right here.
Hi, Anna.
She is almost 8.
Nice. Eight's a good
So,
age.
yeah.
Eight's a nice age. Um, what what would you say? I mean, just being a mother, how has the pandemic, I mean, besides our obvious vision of it right now, trying to do so many things at once, I imagine that you're doing schooling right now. What has been the overarching, advice or feeling that you had through this pandemic as a woman in Humboldt County?
Oh, wow. Okay. Put it out there. I'm not prepared for any of these questions.
Oh,
Jackie didn't
exactly.
give me any of these ahead of time. So,
Improv is where it's at.
your meeting's starting in 3 minutes. Why don't you go on down for that? Keeping the kids on track.
There you go.
I'm trying. What I've been trying to personally learn from this is just to and I guess it's something I always am trying to do in my life, but just enjoy the moment, in being home with the kids when I didn't expect to be home with the kids again. I spent some time home with the kids when they were little. Trying to enjoy the time with them, and trying to bring it back to having more of a role in our kids' education.
All right. Your meeting is starting in 2 minutes, young lady. You better get downstairs. Everybody's watching.
We're live on YouTube right now, so you don't want to be on that. Go on, go to your meeting. Close the door.
That's funny.
Not taking life too serious, right? I mean, these kids, they're not gonna listen to don't disturb my meeting kind of thing, but that's okay, right? It's hard to find the balance of pushing them away. I've got to do my work, get out of here, and then drawing them in and embracing them for who they are, and trying, like I said, to just enjoy this extra time together that we normally wouldn't have. We just before the pandemic, it was kids off to school, parents off to work, and that's just how we spent the day. And then we would see each other in the mornings when we were cranky and in the evenings when we were cranky. And it just, I don't know, I feel like it's good for the family to spend more, for those of us who are privileged enough to get by. That's another thing I keep having to remind myself. I'm so lucky that I get to keep my job and still be with my children, when I know that is not how it is for a lot of people around the world.
One of the things that struck me was that you talked about being a surfer. And I mean, I am from the prairies, and so I have kind of a little fear of the ocean. And so I'm always in awe of women who are surfing, because I feel like that's an internal courage to face this vast, sometimes angry thing that has no qualms and has no attachment to keeping you alive. Want to talk about that for a minute and talk about the other side of it?
Oh, that opens the floodgates, Jackie. If you get me talking about surfing, I probably will never stop. So,
well, we got a good 2 minutes. Our next Molly arrived, but we got about three minutes. Let's say 2 minutes to talk about.
I mean, I feel like I light up. I love surfing so much. Of course, my children are first in everything, but I'd say sometimes it's pretty close tie. Yeah, I mean, and I'm not, some amazing surfer or anything. I've been doing it long enough that I feel comfortable, but never comfortable in the ocean. It's always, I think that's what I love so much about it. It's always puts you out of your comfort zone. Takes you out of your element. We are land beings, right? And you're in this whole another element, and it's I feel strong when I'm in the ocean.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. Okay, I'm going to do that women's surf course.
Yeah.
Beginning surfing. I tried it in Hawaii, but anyways. And then I just thinking about who inspires you, who in your life has inspired you as a woman. it doesn't have to be a man, doesn't have to be a person even. It could be, I mean, you've kind of said surfing, but.
My mom, though, I mean, it's definitely both my parents. I'm really so lucky to have just an amazing family. Both my parents are really inspiring to me, and my mom has just always been a really great role model and a strong woman in my life who she just has this amazing attitude. She's just such an optimist and boundless energy. I mean, it's like my sister and I, she's another woman that inspires me, but we always like, gosh, how is she like so energetic? Like she's, yeah, so she just has this really great attitude, which I strive for. And my sister is awesome. She's 2 years older than me. She is a structural engineer in New York City. She's a partner in her company. She's just this super, I mean, yeah, you should interview her.
I'm interviewing you because you're awesome.
No, so I'm like we're really different in like our life paths, but really similar in like kind of who we are, which is really cool. And so, yeah, I mean, I could go on about my dad too. He's really awesome too, really kind-hearted person, but to focus on women, those two are really bright lights in my life.
Right. One of the things we talk about at Zero to Fierce is the idea of activism from zero to fierce, or what we think of as zero, and how a lot of times women's activism and who they are as women in the world is made less than if they're not this. So the idea that as women, as mothers, as people active in our community, as people acting from our truth and in our environment, that is a form of activism that I totally appreciate in you, Molly, and your passion and enthusiasm for what you do. So thank you for all your work in the community, for staying connected to nature, for botany and floral and children and poems that you read that your kids read out, and just for those are the kind of real grounding women in community that really holds things in a place. And so thank you for all that you do, and thank you for joining me at the Zero to Fierce Festival. We're going to take like a 30-second break while we set up for Molly 2 of the Double Molly interview. Check out the chamber, the Arcata Chamber. Molly's doing amazing things. There are great women-led businesses in Arcata, Eureka, in Humboldt County. So make sure to check those out. And men businesses. I'm not saying that male businesses are not good, but at this festival, we're focusing on what women bring to our community. So thank you. Thank you for all that you do.
Thanks for having me, Jackie.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye. So I'm going to mute my video for a second while I rearrange my camera to get ready for Molly, and we'll be right back to you.
Stay tuned, everybody. Jackie will be right back with Molly number 2 and Laura Munoz. Thank you for holding out with us. We are so excited to have so many spontaneous, fun interludes for you between the scheduled events of the Zero to Fierce Festival. They are getting set up right now, and we'll be right with you. Thank you for being here as part of the Zero to Fierce Women's Festival 2021. And now, Jackie Dandenow, Laura Munoz, and Molly Armstrong.
We are just getting setty-uppy for the Molly Armstrong interview. I had a total brain fart on Molly's last name, which is kind of crazy because Molly worked for us when Artisan Schools Apprentice Entertainment was just starting.
Yeah.
This is, okay, I'm gonna sit over here. Wait, I have to get my piece of paper. because I have some excellent interview questions.
She's ready for this interview.
I'm ready for this interview.
Oh my goodness.
Can we see everything? Maybe Laura can be the technician on the event.
Sure.
So, Molly, welcome.
Hi.
So good to see you.
It's so good to see you
Ah,
too. Your hair is so long.
Thank you. So is yours.
Oh, wait, thank you.
Well, you're
I
welcome.
did it myself.
So, just a little bit of a background, Molly. Molly does not live in Arcata right now. Do you want to tell us where you live,
Yes.
Molly?
I live in the Bay Area. I live in on a small island called I just moved there to Alameda.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
From Oakland. Lived in Oakland for 6 years and then scooted over there because I have a kiddo and the schools are good there. So
Great.
yeah.
Now, what is your what's your attachment to Humboldt County, Molly?
What's my attachment?
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great attachment. It's a lifelong attachment. Well, you know that our family, my family came back here to just get some respite and change of scenery, but also I've come here to give my gratitude to the land because that is always something that helps feed me.
That's great.
Yeah.
Jackie, excuse me, when you talk, we got a note. Can you
Oh,
talk towards the computer?
I can, and let me just pull this in a little bit.
So then let me finish.
Might as well do this,
All right.
because we can. Here we go.
I'm ready for my close-up.
That's right, I'm ready
Yes.
for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. So Molly, you are a Del Arte grad.
I am.
What year did you graduate from Del Arte?
2010.
2010.
Yeah.
And how did you find your way to Del Arte?
I went to school, undergraduate school, at Cornish College of the Arts in Seattle, and my clown teacher and movement teacher there was in the first class at Del Arte. His name is David Taft, and he told us stories during class about Carlo and the ground and all of those wonderful things that chopping wood, etc.,
Cool.
etc., etc. So,
Oh yes, take a drink of water.
so yeah, that's how I thought. Oh yes, that's that place, that thing. Let me look into that. And it kind of came to me at a time when I was living in Chicago, when I was trying to be like a mainstream actor, you know, headshots and auditions and, you know, getting points towards unionship and blah, blah, blah. And I kind of became what I called myself, yes, hi, my name is Molly, I'm an inactive actor. I just, because I just felt like I got my heart broken. So I was like, ugh, this feels like an office job in a way, and I am not into it. So here I come to Humboldt, and I said, let's start graduate school. And yeah, and then I made my way here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. And then one of the things that I have such a vivid memory of you is
Yeah.
singing in that punk rock band.
Yeah.
What was it called?
The Big Forgive.
The Big Forgive.
It's still called that. It still
Oh.
exists. We made an album.
Oh!
We want to make many more, but it's expensive, turns out. And we're on our third drummer, and we play out when there's not a pandemic at least once a month. So
Wow. We'll have
Yeah.
to bring you back here, and maybe you can come on Humboldt Hot Air, because we have a little audio studio here called Humboldt Hot Air.
oh, cool.
We have live bands. You can be
Ooh,
live on air.
It's like a
so-
hot air balloon.
Like a hot air balloon,
Yeah.
kind of. It's more like, you know, what people are saying in Humboldt.
Sure, but it takes you away.
So, but this image that I have of you is such, when you were singing, was such abandon and such lack of ladylikeness. And I say
Yeah.
that in the best possible way.
Yeah.
So why don't you talk about that a little bit, about the confines of being a woman within entertainment and this medium that we are in as women. So why don't you talk about that just a little bit, your feelings on that?
Yeah. Well, it's intentional and thought about. I am not a musician, but I play one on TV, and like I can sing and I can carry a tune, but I am a performer. That is what I identify, and the thing that I want to do is be the person I never saw or saw glimpses of as a young person, or even now at 41. I just turned 41. Thank you.
Good job.
And I want to make an ugly face. I want to show my power, which is not always sweet or nice or painted. It is raw. I want to be as transformative and the beauty of that. But I do it through the filter of my own humanity and through the filter of this body that I'm in. And the body that I'm in is this feels risky to say, but I'm gonna say it. Has like checked a lot of like the patriarchal boxes of you are a pretty person, you are an attractive person, and I could get up on stage and be in a band and be pretty and just stand there and sing the song and look sexy, and I could get by and that's fine, but that's not interesting to me. That's not who I am, actually. That's this vessel I'm in, and I like to dress this vessel up and look good. But I also want to say, like, fuck you. And like, I'm sweet, but also there's like this contramask of myself that I want to express and live all of my humanness, and I want to connect that to people, because then why if you don't connect it to people, then why bother? I don't know, that's how I feel. Plus it's really fun to just freak out, like, little, like super tough looking kids who are like, yeah, I'm here at a punk show, I'm gonna squat down and grab my chin about this, and like, yeah, your drummer's amazing, and and just like kind of just like like in their face, and it's like, yes, that's also me. Yes. Yay!
Yes.
Yeah, Molly.
So I have a question for you about what is also you, because you are also a mother to this beautiful little being.
Yes.
So talk about that for a little bit, about what that is for you as an artist, what that is for you as a woman, as a mother, in a pandemic, at a time when many women are, women in the workforce is going down. We all know those statistics. So talk about that for a minute. Go.
Yeah.
Go, Molly, go.
Motherhood. Colon. It's been motherhood has been really, 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 really fucking difficult for me. Just from the start, like my pregnancy. I brewed beer. I started a new career, like worked my way up from bartending into a brewery and like cellarman brewed all this stuff, and then I helped grow a business from nearly the start, and then I got pregnant and was totally discriminated against, and I also have a learning disability, and was discriminated on those bases as well during that time that I was being discriminated against for being pregnant, and being pregnant in a way that was inconvenient because I had contractions the entire pregnancy. So I couldn't bend, twist, or lift anything over 15 pounds for the entire time. And as a brewer, I would stir, like, mash in, like, and I worked on a small system, so nothing was automated. And it was like 300 pounds of wet grain that you would stir. I would stir it. And so that's like every single, you can't twist or lift things over 15 pounds. Like, no, okay, you can't do anything. Anyway, so there was that, and that was difficult. That was difficult physically, it was difficult emotionally, and I just felt so totally betrayed. And it was just right at the time of listen to women, believe women, time in 2016, 17.
That's so exciting that it came about in 2016, 17.
Yeah.
Listen to women.
Yeah.
Not pregnant women, though.
No.
That's a different category.
Especially if it cuts into your budget.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, so fuck those guys, and then had had my son. The birth was beautiful, but then after that, I was physically just kind of a mess, and I was in a postpartum depression for 2 years. Really hard, really deep, dark space. And then also, just as I was stopped breastfeeding is when I came out of it. So, all hormonal things, all that. I didn't know that postpartum depression could last so freaking long. And that it could be so, I thought it was like, oh, the baby blues. They're like, oh, talk to someone if you have them for that first month or something, and then it's going to be fine. No. No, it was like, no, for a very long time. But then, it was like I stopped breastfeeding right before my son turned 2, and then the pandemic hit.
Oh, dang it!
I know, son of a. But I'm glad I didn't have the double dose. There wasn't a Venn diagram of those times, so
Right.
That's really good. But
Okay, what's a Venn diagram?
oh, the circle, and then the circle that overlaps, and then the thing in the middle.
Right.
It's when both things happen
Right.
at the same time. Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Just clarify.
Yes. No. It's good. Did I answer your question?
You're answering a lot of questions.
Okay.
So that's a lot of questions.
Yeah, and then not working, right? Is that what? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna get a job, and then I had to quit because my son's school closed for the pandemic, and I stayed home with him and became a housewife, a person who never thought I would get married, maybe not even have a partnership with a man. Here we are,
and there you are at
here
home.
I am, a housewife.
I am going to try and pin this video because I just realized that you are not pinned. And now you are pinned. And that's what you're seeing?
11.
Okay, great. It is 11:51.
51.
We have 1 more minute. 2
Wait.
more minutes.
Okay.
One more question for you.
Yes.
Miss Molly Armstrong.
Yeah.
How could I forget your last name from all those excellent things from your wedding? Who inspires you?
Oh, geez. All the good witches. The Muppets. David Bowie. And I don't know, all the bare-breasted women before. Yeah, the ancestors of femininity, and all of the queer femmes who are marching forward with us, and making this world beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Those are good things to be inspired by.
Yeah.
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 Well, I feel like I'm on a talk show. I kind of like a talk show. I might have to have one, I talked about having a radio show, so I might just do that.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming and joining us.
Yeah.
Thanks for being awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Nice to see you on the streets of Blue Lake.
Yeah.
And come back again. Come back with the Big Forgive.
Okay.
And let's do something fun in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Molly.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Shoshana, do you have a video to cut to?
I would be happy to.
Keep going with Molly too.
I think you'd be great if you could keep going with Molly, but just take a minute for being able to say what's coming up at lunch.
Okay, great. Will do. Molly, look, I'm going to turn this camera so that we see more of you. Let's bring it in close. So after that great quote of who inspires you, I just wanted to talk a little bit about where you see yourself going from here with the change of the pandemic. Obviously, you're going to come here and the Big Forgive's going to play and we'll do a radio interview.
Right.
But besides that, there are larger things in the world and much more years to your life.
Yeah.
What are your dreams and aspirations?
Yeah. I feel like this is the time in which like the soils have been fallow and now it's time to plow soon and plant those seeds and let things grow. I've just kind of discovered like a whole bunch of super all these things that I've kind of said, no, I don't like that. I don't like those things because they're floofy and I don't like that. Turns out what I don't like is like it's what patriarchy has told me is weak, and what is super feminine is unattractive as someone who is like successful. And so I'm really into pink right now, which I've never done.
Pink on
I've
your
never
mask.
done that. I've always been like, ew, gross, stupid Barbie color pink. Bleh. And I'm like, no, actually, I look pretty good in it. I like it. I'm gonna wear it.
Yeah, good.
That and like all these other like super femmy stuff. Like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna teach myself how to do my nails. I'm gonna like, I wanna. I started cutting my own hair and like I'm really into like makeup tutorials and stuff like that as an artistry, you know. But also that aside, I just started getting into sigils. I don't know if you know what this is.
No.
It's a very witchy thing. It's like creating symbols. For me, I'm not so like witchcrafty, like hocusy pocusy stuff, but I am like it seems to be like a form of meditation and a way to like focus your energy and have like a tangible thing at the end so that you can remember an intention that you have.
Right.
It's cool. I like it, but also I think I'd like to spend a lot of my time encouraging people to be themselves and to find their empathy for others through that. And I would like to make some money doing that.
That's great. I
Yeah.
hope that all of those things
Yeah,
come
me
forward
too.
for you, Molly. I
Thanks.
think that if the world can support you in that venture, we will all be a better place for it.
Oh boy.
So I'm going to move on to talking about our lunchbox coming up,
Okay.
which is following 2 amazing lunchboxes we've had and interviews with women over the week. So coming up, I just want to check the time. Let me grab my phone. I don't have this, this interview thing down. We have 3 minutes. So coming up is Cami Davalos and her new movie, Woman Who Blooms at Night. And Cami was part of Manila in Her Heart, which was here last year as part of the Women's Festival. And she was a part of it by, I don't want to say by force, but what happened was there was a very deep tragedy in the company that was coming from Southern California that were part of the Cahuilla tribe to tell this story about Manila and her heart, about missing and murdered Indigenous women. And the main family that was involved in that suffered a great loss. And so Katja went to her students and said, okay, everybody, we're going to rally around and we're going to do this show. And Cami stepped into the part of, and I might be saying Cami and you might only want to go by Camare now, but stepped into the part of the mother. And she stepped into the part of the mother in the play, not only embracing the character and delivering the character to the audience with a script in hand and 2 days to deal with it. She stepped into the role of the mother within that company of people who stood forward to read this play. And with people from the Cahuilla tribe who were here, a young woman who was a side, didn't really have a big part in the play, that then stepped into the main role in the play. And she really led that group and really helped cohese, is that a word? Be a cohesive force in moving that show to a place where it could communicate the power of what it was talking about. That missing and murdered Indigenous women are part of communities. They are mothers, they are sisters, they are daughters, they are aunties, they are people that are loved and lost and feel that loss. And the show was so powerful. And Cami was such a huge force in that when we were doing the Women's Festival again, I said, hey, do you want to come do something? And she said, well, it just so happens that, I have this new project that I'm working on. And so I'm so excited that she's here with us today to share that project with us and to talk about it. And I'm excited